So for today's video, we're going to be staining some nice walnut. No, we're not. That's not walnut. This is pine. What we're really going to be doing is a preserving technique called Shou Sugi Ban. I'm pretty positive I am butchering that, but it is basically taking a wood, burning it, scraping it off, and it'll preserve it. Most people are after this beautiful walnut, which is obviously much more expensive, but with this you can take a very cheap piece of wood and turn it into a nice finish without any stain. And the best part is not a lot of sanding. It's kind of an experimental video, but with also a little bit of how-to. I've done it a couple times, but I wanted to try different types of wood, different techniques to see what's going to work best. So first, let's talk about a couple things we're going to need. We're going to need the wood, obviously. Cedar works really good. Pine works really good. White wood, cheap wood is always going to work best. I got a piece of walnut and a piece of cypress, some higher end wood. I mean, cypress is not really, but I just wanted to see what it would do. So some of this is going to be experimenting. Also just got some white wood, 2x4, even some particle board, some pine. We're just going to try a couple things. Obviously you need some propane, a couple different variations of this one, but this is just simple propane. After it's burned, then you're going to need a couple things to take it off. So I'm going to try a couple things. So this is a sanding wheel. This is what I've been using. Wire brush. Got another wire brush. Some steel wool. Never tried steel wool. I want to see how it works. Sander. Thought I'd try a sander. Then some safety items. Glasses. Definitely when you're sanding. We are going to be burning some stuff, so let's keep a little bit of water just in case. Think about this. Probably not the best thing to do in your garage, outside. If you're in a really dry area, probably not best to do it over your grass. So I'm going to do it in the driveway. Then need some kind of rag to wipe off, and you still want to put some poly on it to seal it. So a couple of coats of poly after we're done. So let's just try a couple things and let's see how it works. Alright, so the first one we're going to try is pine. This just Lowe's bought standard pine. Definitely noticed the more knots that you get, the more patterns in the wood, it's going to show a lot better. So wood that doesn't have a lot of grain or knots is probably not the best for this technique. It's not that it wouldn't work, it's just the cosmetics of it wouldn't look good. So we're going to try this first. I'm not going to do this whole board. Make sure I'm just going to do the top. Let me try to spin around. But go slow. Go as slow as you can go. If you go really fast, you're going to start seeing the cupping. So, look at the grain of your wood. You'll definitely see it cup. One thing I learned with the cupping is if you're doing it all on one side, it may cup a little bit more. So I do a little bit on one side, do a little bit on the other side, but not forgetting about the ends. So here, we'll go ahead and continue. Don't stay in one spot. You don't want to get it black all in the beginning. So that's kind of like the first layer. They go to paint layers. Sides. So as you can see, you're starting to see some of the grain. And I do want to take it to what a lot of people think of it looks like an alligator. You want to actually char it. You could leave it this way, stain it. It's going to look nice to me. When it kind of looks like it's very masculine, which is, you know, kind of nice with the garage. It ain't gonna work for inside the house, at least in my house. So I'm gonna get a little darker this time. Just keep going. Be mindful of the flare-ups. But at this point, you're probably not gonna have too many. You do not want this thing to be flaming. Okay, go to the sides. We'll just stick to one side for time reasons. So that's about the spot where I would want to stop. We'll go just a tad bit longer. So, if you can see that, you're getting just a little bit of the alligatoring. We'll let that set and we'll do something else. Let's try just your standard 2x4. Same thing. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do one side. So you get the idea. And let's go over where the mark is. Let's see if we even have to sand that off. So the thicker the wood, obviously the quicker you could go. It's not going to cut near as bad. The grain, I know, is way harder here, so you're going to have to sit here a minute. So just a little bit more. You know, if it starts really flaring up, definitely treat it with the water bottle. Alright, let's do some, I'm just going to do kind of the tip. So this is cypress, a little bit nice. I've never done cypress. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. To the edges too. You're really not going to know how good this looks until you scrape it. Alright, so we'll let that one set. Whew, I almost hate to do this one. This is some black walnut. I'm going to do a very little bit on this one. But cut it off. I have no idea what this is going to look like. All the how-to videos I saw was darker wood doesn't work very well. So let's try it and see. The thing I was going to point out, so this black walnut, different than the other, this was, you know, bought at a, I don't remember the name, but, you know, a lumber yard that actually kiln dries everything. I bought it from their scrap pile. So this is going to be a lot drier. I mean, most of this wood here was bought yesterday, so it's extremely wet. Even where sometimes you're even hitting some knots, you're going to actually see water escaping. So I'm kind of curious what drier wood's going to look like. Do the sides. that's done. I'm also weirdly gonna do some particle board. I have no clue what this is gonna turn out. I would think it's gonna burn individual layers, but only one way to find out. Actually, it looks really neat. I don't know. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Alright, so I had to put the force on. I couldn't find a better dust mask, so we'll use the force. Alright, so I went ahead and did both sides of this, and I'm going to split it. So I'm going to have basically four different ways to do it. In my mind, I think I know which one's going to work best, but so I'm going to start with that. So simple wire brushes. I have two types. I've never used this one. I actually just saw it laying in the garage. So it's a little more fine tooth. I'm kind of curious about that, what it's going to look like. And then just like a barbecue brush or whatever you're going to use. On the other side, I'm going to use steel wool. Never used steel wool, so we'll try that out. Now, the other thing that we want to think about when we're doing this, we want to go with the grain. This is going to get a little messy. But always with the grain. So I'm going to try to go about halfway and just do a little bit with the wire brush. I'm a feeling these are going to be pretty similar. And I'll try it with this. Alright, so let's try the first. This is definitely the way I've done it most. We'll try a little bit with this one here. Yeah, these work really well, both of them. So as you can see, incredible finish. And once it gets clean, it won't even actually be dirty anymore. Alright, so let's try some steel wool. With the grain. Alright, this is a pain already. It's working. I don't like it. One, it's hard to hold, and it's giving some weird swirl marks. So let me just do this whole thing with this one. Much better. Take a towel, wipe it off. If it continues to be dirty, you could definitely run some water over it. No issues there. That looks cool. Alright, the back side we'll do some power tools. Alright, so first one we're going to do is just a sanding wheel. I picked this up literally today, Harbor Freight, like $2, so it's worth a shot. So never really done it. So again, you're gonna have to go with the grade. So this is gonna be a little bit hard. So I think it's gonna work best this way. Appears like it's too aggressive. Yeah, it's putting some weird waves. I don't think that works very well. And then I really don't think this is going to work. There's just some, I think it's 80 grit sandpaper.
definitely faster, but you lose all that character. Yeah, look at the difference. A lot lighter. It's quick, but I even like how the brush gives these little indentions. So definitely for me, best bet. Okay, so without question, a wire brush has definitely worked better. I've definitely seen people use some power tools, some drill attachments. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research. I definitely think the wire brush works better. It just night and day difference. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's the pine. Let's do this plywood first. Let's just see what it looks like. Kind of go backwards this time. Oh, I'm not going with the grain. Pay attention. We'll wipe this off. Yeah. Now, it does look a little blurry because I was going the wrong way. See if I can straighten that up a little bit. Not so much, but you can see a little bit of the, so it works pretty decent. And I have another piece, I'll show you a piece that I did where it definitely worked out better. Alright, so let's move to particle board. Very curious about this because it looks really neat there. Probably going to be really fun getting all this off. I don't know which way to scrape. Wood's going in every direction. It looks okay. Yeah, it looks okay. What I'm noticing though is some of it's chipping up. You can see, I don't know, I know it's hard to see outside, but not one of those things I can do inside. I really didn't want to even do it in the garage. This black soot gets everywhere. So pardon the lighting. But it looks okay. But it definitely is flaking off, and I'm missing some of that. Okay, so it's alright. Maybe this is better left to burn, lightly burn, and putting some poly on it without scraping. With the scraping is just, you're pulling off layers, so it's not going to look as good. Next we'll do the old plywood, or the 2x4. You're going to see it pretty nice here. Alrighty, it's just gorgeous. Looks like it's an impressive staining job. I'm mind blowing, and the feel of the texture is just incredible. I mean, love it. You can really see those rings. So that works really well. Let's do the cypress. Again, wrong way. A little piece, so I don't know how well it's going to show. Looking okay. Color is good. It's a little dull, but it's okay. It's alright. Now, let's see what the walnut looks like. Alright, let's make sure we're doing the right grain this way. Honestly, hope this does not look good. I don't want to have to get walnut more than I have to. There's just no pop to it. You lose the character of walnut. it is darker. So, I mean, it's almost that black look. So, it's okay, but you definitely cannot tell really what it, let you see the difference. It's amazing. Alright, so for the final step, just got a couple coats of poly. Coat there. Just gonna do it down here. Just a satin finish. Let that dry. Give it a couple coats. Let it dry. They'll be good. All right, so here's two projects I've used on this. So first one I really ever did, I was just really playing around, and I wanted to build a little squirrel table. Really, I built this for my mom. She wanted it. Though if you followed my Facebook page, you'll know this has become the Beanie Baby picnic table. So I think not only do I want to build another one for myself for the backyard, I need to build another one for my mom. I do like the way this two-toned worked. I wasn't originally planning on doing that, but worked out really well. But you can really see the layers on the pine. Looks really neat. So that's one thing. And then built this yesterday. And simple 2x4 construction with pine. This actually hangs a plant. So hanging basket right here. So a plant would go here, and then my wife is working on a stencil so we can paint welcome, and it's just a nice little sign. But I'm gonna put in a couple coats of poly on this, and should last a couple years. And all this was built with cheap wood, meant to last a long time. They're pretty neat. All right, so that's the wrap. So hopefully you learned a new thing. Definitely, I encourage you to go look up Build Dad Build on YouTube. You're gonna find this in much more detail, all the different options you can do with it. It's a fantastic YouTube channel. It's gonna talk all about the Shou Sugi style, whatever. I already forgot how to say it. But check it out. Again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll continue doing these kind of things. Thanks. Yeah, maybe half inch.
I'll do roughly the same size. All right.